U.S. forces sharply escalated their campaign against Iran this week, striking more than 170 military targets over Tuesday and Wednesday, one of the most intense rounds of attacks since the war began more than 4 months ago. The Pentagon says the targets included air defense systems, drone and missile storage sites, and military speedboats along Iran's southern coast, near the Strait of Hormuz, the critical shipping lane that has become a focal point of the conflict. U.S. forces also struck a railway bridge in northeastern Iran, more than 700 miles from the strait. Online video verified by the New York Times showed people inspecting a crater at the site. Captain Tim Hawkins, a spokesman for Central Command, said the strikes targeted Iranian military logistics infrastructure that allowed Tehran to move weapons and supplies toward the most contested areas of the war. Analysts say the escalation sends a pointed message to Tehran: the United States is willing to broaden its mission and strike sites that serve both military and civilian purposes. President Trump underscored that this week, saying U.S. forces could target Iranian civilian infrastructure, including power plants and bridges, even though doing so could constitute a war crime. Late Friday night, he repeated the warning in his social media post, threatening to launch thousands of missiles if the Iranian government tried to assassinate him. Dana Stroul, who served as the Pentagon's top Middle East policy official under President Biden, said the strikes show Iran's civilian infrastructure is vulnerable, and that the U.S. military is both capable and willing to keep targeting bridges and railways if Tehran continues to escalate. Current and former U.S. commanders and Pentagon officials described the strikes as a clear escalation, warning that the United States and Iran appear to be edging closer to a return to full-scale war. Also on Friday, President Trump said on social media that he had agreed to continue negotiating with Iran, but declared that, in his words, the ceasefire is over. It remains unclear what steps his administration will take next. According to Iran's health ministry, the U.S. attacks this week killed at least 14 people and injured 78 others across 5 provinces. Iran said it responded by firing at U.S. military bases in Qatar, Bahrain, and Kuwait, and Jordan said it intercepted Iranian attacks as well. The Pentagon says this latest round of violence began after Iran struck at commercial vessels earlier in the week, continuing a cycle of escalation that shows no sign of slowing. That's the story out of Washington. Thanks for listening.